Thanks for everyone coming. Again, my name is Jake Andrea. I'm a customer success manager at Payoneer. So I work with small, medium businesses that get paid internationally using marketplaces, specifically Amazon. So here to discuss how to get paid from international marketplaces like Amazon, as well as save some costs and time on FX fees, and also get some more access to your funds than you normally would with a traditional local bank. So I just want to go over like the payment journey for a cross-border seller typically, just kind of understand that payment flow from consumer purchase and then how it gets to your account. So first, the consumer would purchase using a local credit card, debit card, local payment method. Then it'll get processed and settled to Amazon, the marketplace. From there, the marketplace, Amazon in this case, would deduct commissions before sending the funds to you as a seller. And then from there, then you have the access to your funds. So you use those funds for supplies, costs, paying your employees, advertising, or of course, some profit. With Payoneer, we give you a little bit more access to your funds and more of a holistic pane of glass view. So first, money coming in. So again, you can get money from all different funds internationally from marketplaces like Amazon. We also offer local and wire bank transfers. So if you're doing business internationally, other than a marketplace, you have receiving accounts that can receive funds to your Payoneer account. You can also receive credit card payments, bank debit, and also in-network payments. So if you do business with another Payoneer account, a Payoneer customer can send you funds from any currency into your Payoneer account, and it would be the same currency they sent it to you. Then from there, in your account, like I said, you can see it from one single point of view. So you can see your funds and transactions more in holistic, one pane of glass. So from any currency that you're receiving, you'll see all your receiving accounts, all your currencies, and that way you can access your funds a little bit easier. We also offer capital advance offers with Amazon, and I'll get into that a little bit later in more depth, but essentially you connect your Amazon MWS token with your Payoneer account. We can see your metrics and offer you capital advance depending on your volume. We also offer billing and invoicing tools. So if you need to bill a customer or client, no matter what currency that may be, they can send over the payment to your Payoneer account. So they'll just get an email sent to their account. And then lastly, also you can manage currencies. So if you need to change your currency, for example, from USD to Euro, we have that option to manage currencies at a much cheaper rate as well. Then lastly, coming into money out. So once you receive that money from Amazon, no matter what currency it is, then you could withdraw that to your local bank account. We automatically will be doing the conversion rate, and we'll be doing that at a smaller rate than typical a local bank. Also, we have a debit commercial card, which again, I'll get into a little bit, but think of it as a e-wallet debit card. So essentially, you will have that online debit card connected to your Payoneer account. You could top up your funds from your account to your card, and that way you can have access to pay Amazon advertising, Google advertising, or really any online payment. And we offer up to 1.5% cash back. So it's really essentially the only debit card that also offers cash back. We also have in-network payments. Like I said before, you can pay another Payoneer customer for free up to $10,000 per month. Supplier payments. So if you need to pay your supplier overseas, you can do that directly right from your funds. Even if it's not the currency that you need, you can choose the currency you want. We will automatically do that conversion rate. And again, you'll be able to save some costs using the conversion rate. And then lastly, which I'll get into later as well, is VAT payments. We have partnerships with the UK VAT authorities as well as the Euro VAT authorities, so you can pay your taxes with no extra additional cost. Obviously, here's some common issues with cross-border payments. There's definitely a lot of complications that can happen, unnecessary cost and delays. So first, there would be the processing fee. This would be associated with bank wires. So for cross-border transactions, opposed to local banking. So if you're trying to get euros to USD with a wire transfer, it could take up to a week in time, as well as a lot of cost. So with Payoneer, instead, you'll have a receiving account in Euro, so you can get that within the same day. So it'll be more like a local bank transfer, and then you could withdraw it to your bank into USD within the same business day. So you save a lot of time and cost using Payoneer, as well as conversion fees. So currency conversion fees can go all the way up to 6% through banks and brokers. There's also that risk of double conversion. So if you're receiving euro and you're in the US, you would get a conversion from euro to US, you get that fee. And then later on, if you need to pay a supplier overseas back to euro, you would get that double conversion. With Payoneer, you keep it in that euro. There is no cost as well. Then you can send it right back to euro for a free cost. And then lastly is the settlement time, especially with wire transfers and cross-border transactions. There's definitely that lack of transparency on payout schedules. It may say that your funds are available, but by the time you withdraw it to your bank, it takes 2 to 3 days. So you're not really accessing your funds immediately, and you kind of have that lack of transparency from when you actually receive those funds. And a stat that I saw that was pretty interesting is that 80% of small medium businesses don't actually know the true cost of foreign exchange through their banks. So when you get like that, like I said earlier, with that double conversion rate, you don't realize you're getting charged twice. Local banks have kind of hidden fees that you might not see. With Payoneer, there's one flat cost for every transaction, so you'll be able to see it in a lot more holistic view. Once you open up your Payoneer account, you'll be able to manage your global accounts. So this really helps mitigate the implications of multiple currency accounts if you're selling internationally and multiple foreign exchange accounts. So it's as simple as clicking one button once you're in your Payoneer account to open up a new virtual bank account without having any need for a local banking relationship. So we have Euro, UK, Canadian, Australia, and Japan, just to say a few. That way, you have your receiving accounts ready, so you can connect right to Amazon. So wherever you're selling, if you're selling, for example, Amazon Japan, you have that Japan receiving account. It takes 1 to 2 business days to get activated on Amazon side. And then from there, Amazon will send in Japan currency right to your Payoneer account. And from there, then you have your access to your funds in Japan. If you want to withdraw to your bank, pay a supplier, use it for capital advance, you have that right at your doorstep. So clients and marketplace and the platforms all have that local bank transfer now. So now it's a lot quicker instead of a wire transfer for foreign exchange currencies. And you're able to manage these FX fees and transfer times between multiple accounts, all in that one Payoneer account. So it takes a lot of time and a lot of cost savings using Payoneer than using your local traditional bank to try and receive, euro into a USD local bank account. So this is what I was alluding to earlier about our capital advance. So we're trying to unlock the barrier to financial growth. So obviously, as a small medium business, 61% of global sellers are regularly struggling with cash flow, and 30% of new businesses are actually failing because they are running out of cash. And the problem is that now small medium businesses are increasing in demand, but it's very hard, unbankable because of outdated underwriting. 60% of small businesses are now actually using personal funds to finance their business, waiting for their next payment to come in. So that's kind of where Payoneer comes in. Like I said, it's very easy. One click of a button. You just connect your MWS Amazon token right to Payoneer account. That way we can see your metrics, we can see your past volumes, and we can predict your future volumes if there's peak season coming up. So we give you, more accessible and more efficient data, so we can give you the funds that you need. We go up to $500,000 or even $750,000 for special clients. And so we have a lot more smarter underwriting than a traditional local bank. And as well, it's a lot easier than going to your local traditional bank. We don't ask for collateral for a line of credit. We basically base it just off your projected volume from your Amazon store. And as well as you don't have to remember to pay us, we take a specific collection percentage each disbursement before it comes into Payoneer. So that way your offer would be settled exactly at the 1, 3, 6 month mark of the advance. So we want to empower sellers' supply spending. And this was me alluding to the commercial debit card. So again, think of it as an e-wallet debit card. Basically, that virtual card is connected to your Payoneer account. You could send your funds from your receiving account to your commercial card completely for free. Then you have access to use that card just like you would any normal debit card. You could pay Amazon advertising, Google advertising. You could pay your suppliers. You could pay anything online for your business, and you get up to 1.5% cash back. So again, it's basically the only debit card that actually offers cash back. And again, it's not like a credit card, so it's high acceptance rates. Essentially, if you have a Payoneer account and your Payoneer account is approved, you can receive that commercial card along with your receiving accounts. So there's no need for a credit score or no need for social security check or any of that nature. It's just like a virtual debit card, but again, you get that cash back feature like a credit card would. And then lastly, I'd like to go over value-added tax. So you can pay your EU and UK tax directly from your Payoneer balance. So if you have EU or UK balance and you want to pay your tax, you can do so with no extra cost. We have partnerships with the tax authorities. So it is just an additional feature that Payoneer offers. And again, it is absolutely free to do, especially if it's in the native currency of EU and UK. So it's instead of having to go to a third party company to pay your taxes that obviously have probably some fees aligned with that, this is just going right from your balance and paying the UK authorities or EU authorities completely for free, just an extra feature of Payoneer. So thank you, everyone. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put in the chat, and I'll put my info in the chat as well, just in case you want to connect after.
Before you go anywhere, Jake, we're not done with you. Thank you.
No worries.
Okay. For VAT, just explain a little bit more about this. Do you have to set up, obviously you can deal with us paying our VATs, but do I have to set up entities around the world that could help me comply with VAT? How does that work?
Yeah, so typically you would already have an entity because you're already selling in that region in the UK Euro. So you would already kind of have an entity set up.
You mean in Europe?
Correct.
But you could also use like a VAT Global or another platform, I guess, that could set that up and ride their rails, right? Like
absolutely. And we have partnerships to do that as well if you need. But again, if you already have that entity set up, it's very simple. If you already have a balance in your Euro or UK, you could also send money from your local bank into your Payoneer account, manage that currency to put it into euros, and then pay the tax authorities that way. So we have a tab to do the VAT tax. And you essentially it's just like almost a normal ACH transfer because it's like a local transfer. You just put in the tax authorities banking details and it sends right to them.
Jake, Andrea from Payoneer, thanks for joining us.